Chapter 4. Outside, a door slammed. Cam brushed the blue drapes aside and peered out the bay window. Jags waved as he circled his truck and approached the door. Fuck. Without knocking, Jags strode through. He crouched beside the recliner and rubbed Gramps' balding head. Gramps rubbed his eyes and stretched. He frowned. Cam? Try again. AJ? Nope. Gasping, Gramps covered his mouth. Jags! He opened his arms and they embraced. Cam entered the kitchen. Jags followed. Cam leaned against the counter and crossed his ankles and arms. Why are you back? Jags opened the refrigerator and grabbed a beer. He set the bottle on the table and straddled a chair backwards. Cam downed his beer. So it's 6. What are you doing here? Jags lifted his bottle and nodded. Cheers. He sipped his beer. A quiet knock resounded. The chair scraped on the tile floor as Jags jumped to his feet. He jogged through the dimly lit living room and opened the front door. Tilly. Hello. Jags swept his arm across his chest, stepped aside, and bowed. Come in.
Thank you.
Jags guided her into the kitchen. Cam, I believe you know Tilly. She's a nurse. Jags sported a wide grin. Cam narrowed his eyes at Jags. Tilly sat on one of the rusted metal chairs surrounding the card table. She slid a folder from under her arm.
I have references.
She fanned the sheets across the table. Cam didn't much like all that voodoo crap, but on the rare occasion, it did have its advantages. Jags' empathetic abilities trumped any reference she could produce. If Jags trusted her, so would he.
From what Jags has told me about Gramps, I think he and I will get along quite well. I just happen to love Chances Are.
She'll come every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Cam grimaced. On whose dime? Mine. She's going to sit with him, make sure he doesn't burn down the house, and anything else you need. You just have to let her know. She'll be here from 6 to 8. And what do you know? Today's Wednesday. He looked at his watch. And it's 5:57. Cam jumped from his chair. He grabbed Jags by the scruff of his shirt and held him against the wall. Swear to me, you can afford this. Jags brushed his hand away and clapped Cam on the shoulder. I swear. Now let's go get drunk. Jags gripped Tilly's hand. Where are my manners? Nice to see you again. When she tugged from his grasp and failed, Cam bopped Jags on the head. Do you have to do that to everybody? Jags let go of her hand and stepped backwards. Tears streamed down his cheeks. Curling his fingers in front of his lips, he bit into his knuckle. Please, God, no. Tilly frowned.
What did you see?
More tears fell. I'm so sorry. Tilly tucked a lock of her short blonde hair behind her ear.
I can handle it. Tell me.
Jags shook his head. She grimaced.
Does something terrible happen to me or Nate?
Red, swollen eyes narrowed on her.
The triplets?
Who are the triplets? Cam asked.
Nate's younger brothers,
Tilly said without taking her eyes off Jags.
Does something happen to the triplets?
Jags shook his head.
Nate's sister?
Jags shook his head.
My sister, my parents, Nate's parents.
With a frustrated groan, she gripped his arms and shook him.
Tell me, damn it!
I won't. Tilly took a deep breath. When she glanced toward Cam, he offered her a small smile. He felt for her, but Cam was used to Jags' stubbornness. Jags rarely revealed what he saw in his visions, and nobody knew why. Just the way he'd always been. We'll go have a beer, Cam said. Nodding, Jags lifted his shirt and wiped his tears. Cam tilted his head toward the living room. "Have a seat, Tilly. Got some things to go over with you." With a forced smile, she followed Cam and sat on the faded blue sofa. From the end table, he picked up the notebook where he'd jotted down Gramps' quirks and how to deal with them. He also listed Gramps' medications, when and how much to administer, and possible side effects. Halfway through the notes, Cam noticed Jags peering through the curtain of the living room window, then glanced at his watch. He'd grown impatient, but Cam didn't give a shit. Jags probably thought he was overprotective when it came to Gramps, and maybe he was, but he had no plans on changing. 10 minutes later, Cam and Jags headed out the door. 2 steps down the walkway, Jags turned and went back to the house. He cracked the door. "The vision had nothing to do with any of your or Nate's living relatives. I'm sorry I can't tell you more, but does knowing that much make you feel better?" She gave him a small smile.
I suppose so.
"The future cannot be changed. Worrying about it will only waste energy and time."
I understand, but it'll be hard not to think about it.
"Can you at least promise you'll try?" She grimaced.
Sure thing.